everybody, and welcome back to another wonderful round of Slipstream Racing. This is round 11 of season 9, and we're headed to Austin, Texas for COTA. We're having a great time in this championship, but it looks like mathematically it might be sealed for our leader, as the championship points have become very stretched out. But the battle for the best of the rest, still very close up and down the field. It could be anybody's ball game right now, and we'll have to keep our eye on the drivers to see how they fare for the last two races of this championship season. We've got COTA, and then we've got Suzuka to round out the finale. And let's get to seeing what the action is all about for the drivers before we do any more talking about this driver's standings. Mr. Cody Lawrence himself is the leader in P1 right now, and he's doing a very good job of making sure that everything is pretty calm, cool, and collected for himself. He leads the championship right now with, I believe, 241 points, and that'll be Colin Edwards in P2, rounding up the rest of the points, driving for McLaren right now with 122 points. So like I said, mathematically it's practically sealed with Cody Lawrence taking so many wins. That'll be 7 wins for him, 2 second place finishes and 1 third place finish. That'll be at Estoril where he claimed that. Colin Edwards, though, 2 DNSs, 1 disqualification, but nothing other than podiums for the best of his run. And then Sean Moriarty in 3rd place, but we haven't seen him in at least 3 races. Not sure what's going on there. Taking DNSs for the past 4 races, 119 points to his name. Pete Rader in 4th place with 115 points, with 2 remaining in the championship. Could get his haul of points that he needs to get 3rd place in front of Sean Moriarty, as he seemingly has abandoned his season 9 run. Trent H in 5th place with 115 points, tied with Pete Rader, but Rader out in front since he had those last points first. Claiming 18 in the final round at Mugello, and Trent H getting only 15. Matt Chevry had a hit-miss-hit run for a while now. Disqualification at Estoril, did not start at Pinwheel. A DNS and a DQ will end up being his last 2 finishes at PGO and Mugello. 97 points is his haul right now. Then we have Neil Short. He does Neil Shorter. Jaden Neal, excuse me. Jaden Neal in 7th place with 66 points. Then James Shorter is who I'm thinking of in 8th place with 51 points. Twisted Jack in 9th place with 47. That'll be Grant Worley in 10th place with 35 points. Cody Fowers in 11th place with 33 points. And Ryan Earl Flip with 12th place. Cameron Ketchen in 13th, and Jake DeShong in 14th place. And that will round out the standings for now. So we're keeping an eye on Edwards, Moriarty, Rader, and Trent H. But Moriarty not running right now. So looking at Edwards, Trent H, and Pete Rader, the 55 car. And seeing how the drivers fare will be fairly crucial. This is the most drivers we've had in quite some time. We've got 9 out on circuit right now, with 14 minutes remaining around COTA. Let's take a look on board, see how we get through Big Red. And through the Maggots and Beckett's like section of turn 2 through turn 9. Getting spit out of 9 and into 10, the little kink. And then all the way back to the hairpin. This will be turn 11. A tiny little puff of smoke there from Colin Edwards' car. see his delta showing very good right now that he's 8 seconds up. Trying to not invalidate that lap. He might have breached track limits coming through turn 12, 13, 14, and now 15. The Horseshoe Complex, this will be turn 16 through turn 19. And then the final hairpin, this will be turn 20. And where does Colin Edwards fall? Second place for him, a 133.761. And now he's on his way to recharging that battery pack and hopefully doing what he can. 12.5 minutes remaining, plenty of time left to go. Cody Lawrence driving the C2 compound right now and doing his best to test his limits yet again for last to first challenges. Next up to the line will be Pete Rader. Was he on an installation lap? Yes, he was. A 140 something for Rader that last lap around. And that'll be Cody Lawrence getting to the line with 10th place James Shorter up next. He's coming out of pit lane now. Cody Fowler is the next driver that crossed the line, and he's got a little bit of work to put in right now. No lap time to be found just yet. And there is the giant tower here at COTA, where you can see the entire spectacle from up there. It's going to be a 37-lap race around COTA. I expect to see a two-stop race for most of the field again. Cody Fowler is doing a little bobbing and weaving there, trying to warm up his tires, it looks like. Driving that C4 compound. Cameron Ketchen into the pit lane. Trent H into pits, is resting in third place. Rader in fourth. Twisted Jack in fifth. Cameron Ketchen in sixth. Cody Lawrence in seventh. Cody Fowers in eighth place. Shorter in ninth right now. Cody Fowers into the pit lane. Get a new set of rubber. Plenty of time left on the board here. 9:30 remaining. Let's see if Matt Chevry still holds on to first place. Like I said, his results have been a little hit recently, but hopefully getting a good qualifying will encourage him to keep out in front of the rest of the field, especially a guy like Colin Edwards, who's done very well recently. Then Trent H in third place. Coming around the horseshoe section now is Matt Chevry. apologize for the flashing banners of the Salesforce logo in the background. Hopefully that didn't distract anybody like it distracted me. Chevry gets to the line, no improvement to be found, as that was just an installation lap. 3:54 for him. Colin Edwards should be on the flyer this time around. 133.761 being his previous best. And you can see on the left-hand side of your screen how close the margins really are. 33 thousandths away from Chevry. Trent H, 8/10 away from pole position. 9/10 for Raider as well. Then we have Twisted Jack, Cameron Ketchum, Cody Lawrence, James Shorter, and Cody Fowers. And will Colin Edwards find the 33 thousandths that he needed? He did, and then some. A 33.548 will get him to rest his head in pole position for now. Just 1/10 away from Matt Chevry's time. And going into the green direction, that'll help him out and seal his charge for second place. And Chevry obviously trying to upset that just a little bit. Giving everybody a run for their money in this championship. It looks like Trent H just set a good lap there. Server best for himself. A 133.938 will be good enough for third place, but not too much else just yet. Still holding back 4/10 of a second from Colin Edwards out in front. Now on a bit of a recovery drive as he needs to regenerate enough power there in his engine. Can Chevry do anything as he comes around turn 11, but again, just regenerating as much energy as he can in his MGUK hybrid system. As this is an outlap for Chevry. And Edwards decides to come back into pit lane. 5.5 remaining on the clock for this qualifying session. Just to run down championship standings one more time. Cody Lawrence leads with 241 points. Colin Edwards with 122. Then Sean Moriarty in third place with 119. Raider and Trent H are tied with 115. Chevry's down in sixth place with 97 points. Then Jaden Neal in seventh place with 66. James Shorter with 51, Twisted Jack 47, and then Grant Worley in 10th place. Cody Fowers in 11th with 33 points. Ryan Earl with 12 points, or in 12th place with 21 points. A little bit of inverse numbers there. Cameron Ketchum in 13th, and Jake DeShong in 14th place with 9 points. Obviously not all drivers racing the entire championship season, so things look a little messy. The fifth place car of Pete Raider should be the next driver to cross the line, or will that be Cody Fowers? Not Cody Fowers on this occasion, but Raider should be the next driver to cross the line. And he does go into fourth place, a 34.058, 5/10 away from Trent H in third. Cody Lawrence starting from the back of the pack for the third race in a row now. But he hasn't made that last very long. Usually by the fourth or fifth lap, he's usually back to where he stands up at the top of the grid. Chevry gets to the line. Any improvement to be found? Not on this occasion. Big lockup there going into Big Red for the second place car of Matt Chevry, 16. Paul Edwards, I believe, on an outlap. And the fifth place car of Twisted Jack now in down pit lane. Cameron Ketchen also into pit lane. And of course, the safety car resting in pit lane, getting warmed up just in case it needs to get called out. Pete Rader invalidating that lap and coming down pit road. 2 minutes, 15 seconds remaining. I don't think many drivers are going to get a second crack at it. Grant letting by the seventh place car of Cody Lawrence. Next up on a lap should be Cody Fowers, who in the past couple of minutes has not been able to put together a lap that has been valid, it looks like. Neither has James Shorter driving for Team Audi. And of course, we are using real penalty here at the Slipstream Racing organization. So invalid laps will stack up to be track cuts. And eventually those track cuts will add up to be a 5-second penalty, if not more. The more you cut, the more you end up losing. And all of those times will get added up to your race result. James Shorter peeling out of the way for Matt. With 22 seconds left on the clock, will Twisted Jack be able to get another lap in? Yes, he does. His previous best, a 134.554. $133.9, that'll be for Trent H. Still holding on to third place, gaining a little bit of separation between himself and Pete Rader. But that will conclude his qualifying session. Cody Lawrence down pit road, it looks like. And Fowers does finally crack in a lap, a 138.280. Sends himself flying at the exit of Big Red and turns himself into a blade. Matt Chevry concluding his qualifying session. We still have Pete Rader, Twisted Jack, and Cameron Ketchen out there. Ketchen, the next driver to get down to the line. And that'll be at 134.429. Good enough for fifth place. Twisted Jack snaps right back. Claims that fifth place right away. And then now Pete Rader, when he gets to the line, he jumps up into third place in front of Twisted Jack. No, that'll be Trent H with a 133.775. So first through third all settled in that 133.7 range or thereabouts. And then it'll be 133.9 for Trent H. Twisted Jack with a 134.1. Cameron Ketchen 34.4. And Cody Lawrence and Cody Fowers 37.8, 38.2 respectively. Just waiting for the qualifying session to finally tick over and go down to the race session. Beautiful safety car that we have here on the racetrack. The Mercedes AMG. And we'll take a quick break while we wait for the session to tick over, and we'll give a rundown of the grid. In first place, it'll be Colin Edwards with his 133.511, driving for the Marble McLaren team. In second place, it'll be Matt Chevry, the number 16 Ferrari, and he is driving in second place, the 133.728. Pete Rader, the number 55, in third place with a 133.775. Trent H. in fourth place with a 133.924 for the Prism Racing JWI team. Twisted Jack, the fifth place car, 134.152, driving for Team Audi. Cameron Ketchen, number 81. He's in sixth place, the 134.429. Cody Lawrence, our championship leader right now, driving the number 11 Oracle Red Bull racing car. He is in seventh place with a 137.815. Cody Fowers, a 138.280. In eighth place right now, driving the Petronas number 44. Then we have James Shorter, the number 27. He's in ninth place. Starting at the back of the grid, only one way to go from here. The grid has officially been set, folks. Getting ready to start this race in just a few moments' time. Waiting for the Christmas tree to become lit. Headed up the 133 feet of elevation as we get into turn one. We're driving in Austin, Texas for the first time here at the Slipstream Racing League. And the red lights are about to become illuminated. Six lights are on, and away we go, headed up the 133 feet inclination. And then headed towards Big Red. 3 wide in the background for a lot of the drivers. Trent H looking like he wanted to make a move. Almost a spin there for Chevry from his teammate in the number 16. No, that'll be Raider getting in front of Chevry. Inverted that position right off the bat, going in towards turn 1. Amazing feat there. Now looking further back, Twisted Jack for Team Audi in P4, then Trent H in 5th place, and then Cameron Ketchen, Cody Lawrence, Cody Fowers, and James Shorter. Cam Ketchen getting dive there at 11 from Cody Lawrence. Like I said, it was only going to take him a few laps to catch back up to the leaders. A few laps is all he needed to get ahead. A few corners was all he needed to get ahead of Cameron Ketchen. Trent H chasing down Twisted Jack out in front. Battle for 4th and 5th is about to be underway here. Cody Lawrence lurking in the background, 3/10 away from Trent. DRS has not been enabled yet, so the drivers will not have the drag reduction system available to them as we come through the horseshoe section. Everything's looking pretty neat and tidy and a great start for the rest of the field. But there goes Cody Lawrence making a look at the inside line at turn 20. Trying to force Trent H into a bit of a mistake, but he's not having any of that. Cameron Ketchen getting a 5-second penalty for DRS violation. There goes a move up the inside of turn 1. A little bit of lockup there from Cody Lawrence, but nothing to write home about. He gets through with relative ease. Trent H down in the 6th place now. Matt Chevry catch bot up to Pete Raider. So the battle between Raider and Chevry is now raging on. The battle between the two Ferraris. No team orders here on the racing circuit. We saw Raider overcome diversity and go up the inside line of Big Red with a great start and be able to get that P2 spot in front of Chevry. And there's Mr. Cody Lawrence doing his thing yet again. Now he's got Twisted Jack in front of him for Team Audi, and this is through the turn 14-15 complex. And gets the move done into 15. Or does he? Yes, he does have it done. Everybody driving the C2 compound tire other than Twisted Jack on the C3 compound. Lap times trickling in as all drivers cross the line on lap 3 of 37 here tonight. As the fuel load decreases, the lap times will decrease as well. Don't forget about the wear of the tires also fading a little bit. There will be a cutoff point to where the drivers will get optimum grip and optimum fuel load. It won't be in this stint, perhaps in that 3rd stint. Like I said, I'm predicting that we'll see a 2-stopper for most of the drivers. Very few and far between have we seen drivers try to single stop these races. Taking a look at Trent H and Twisted Jack's battle, the Prism Racing JWI team. trying to work his way forward and get past Twisted Jack. 4/10 the gap right now, separating the two of them. And he's going to have a big helping of the drag reduction system. Going in towards turn 1. But close, but no cigar for Trent H and Twisted Jack. Check back in with Cody Lawrence as he's 2/10 away from Matt Chevry's rear wing. Both of them getting helping dose of DRS from Pete Rader out front. And that's a 2-for-1 special from Cody Lawrence. Gets the move around 2 Ferraris. Now Chevry wants to have a crack around the outside of Pete Rader. Now Switchback cannot be engaged there as he tried to make a move happen, unable to do so. And the Ferrari out in front, that'll be Rader, goes off the racing circuit. You can see in the background there, Trent H and Twisted Jack battling it out. Lap times are definitely going the way of Trent, but not enough there to keep up the momentum to get passed by Twisted Jack. Now, the battle between Chevry and Rader still closes down. Last lap was a 38.3 and a 38.3 for both drivers. Rader in front of Chevry. Cody Lawrence now 6/10 away from the leader on lap 4 of 37. Or lap 5, excuse me. There's another cut there for Rader going a little bit wide. Twisted Jack going wide there. Again, gets a 5-second penalty for cutting the racing circuit. And that should hand over the position to Trent H here in just a few moments. If not on track, it'll definitely do it by the end of this 37-lap race, if they remain as close as they have been. That's Chevry seemingly having an incident. He's now 1.6 away from Rader. A big mistake, costly. Put him almost a second back from his teammate. The number 55 leads in third place. And there goes the move. Trent H finally getting around Twisted Jack, but it goes a little bit too deep at turn 15. Can't get the grip underneath him, and he's still battling away now. Almost has a giant tank slapper, the number 84. Able to keep the car collected, just barely 9/10 now is the gap between himself and Trent. Check back in with the battle for the lead of the race. Cody Lawrence trying to find a way by for P1. Lap times 138.2, 138 flat for Cody Lawrence, and there's a big dive up through Big Red. Cody Lawrence makes the move stick now through turn 2, 3. It'll be Cody Lawrence's position and the lead of the race going his way. Colin Edwards falling back just a little bit there. Battle between Trent H and Twisted Jack still rages on lap 7 around this 3.4 mile, 5.5 kilometer racetrack founded in 2012 in Austin, Texas. This is Circuit of the Americas. "20 corners total, 11 to the left and 9 to the right, with 133 feet of elevation, most of that happening there at turn 1. With a 3/4 nearly mile or 1.18 kilometer long back straight. That's the straight from turn 11 all the way through turn 12. At the top of your screen, that's where Cameron Ketchen is just concluding his corner right now, turn 12. In 8th place. COTA's opening year in 2012 was the first purpose-built Grand Prix facility in the United States since 1990, opening in 2012. Besides F1, COTA hosts a variety of motorsports events, including MotoGP, IndyCar, and Formula Drift, concerts and festivals as well. The venue can accommodate over 120,000 spectators, making it one of the largest racetracks in the United States. .138.0 to 138.5. Pete Rader gets a 5-second penalty there for cutting the racetrack. And a 3.3-second gap back to Matt Chevry that seemingly is growing right now. The battle between Trent and Twisted Jack has not gone anywhere until now. Twisted Jack has a big tank slapper coming out of turn 1, and that will conclude the battle between these two drivers. And Twisted Jack is trying to get it spun up in the right direction. And a bump into the K-rail. Then the Audi loses its footings and maybe one of those rings. Cody Lawrence leads the race. Behind is Colin Edwards. Pete Rader in 3rd place. Matt Chevry in 4th place. Trent H in 5th. Twisted Jack in 6th. Cody Fowers now has a battle on his hands as he chases down Twisted Jack for 6th place. Cody Fowers now with the helping hand of the drag reduction system, might be able to catch up to Twisted Jack, especially with all that damage that he's incurred. $140.9 for Cody Fowers, $203 for Twisted Jack, excuse me. Because of that tumble and fall that he has. And now Cody Fowers is outside the 1 second DRS that he needed to get the drag reduction system opened up to help him out chase down Twisted Jack out in front. All seems pretty quiet on the western frontier. James Shorter, a 5-second penalty for DRS use, as he is not within 1 second of the driver in front, not allowed to use the drag reduction system. Cody Lawrence and Edwards, both of them into the pits now, promoting a couple of drivers further up the order. That was 11 laps for their stint, it looks like. Now the gap's opened up quite a bit between himself and Twisted Jack. Speaking of Cody Fowers, now Lawrence and Edwards on different compounds of tires. Cody Lawrence has decided to take the mediums, and Colin Edwards on the C2 compound, the hard compound tires. So expect some faster laps out of Cody Lawrence than we've seen before. But Pete Rader is the one leading this race now, out for the number 55. Matt Chivry in P2, Trent H in third, Cody Lawrence in fourth place, Colin Edwards in fifth, Twisted Jack in sixth, and Cody Fowers in seventh, Cameron Ketchen in eighth, and James Shorter in ninth. And Shorter now down through pit lane, right in front of Rader and Chivry. And looking at the lap times, they're not too bad for the leaders of the race. 138.9 to a 139.0. Matt Chivry's lost a little bit of pace. He's about 7/10 slower than his best lap. But Pete Rader, about the same, about a second slower than his best lap on the previous occasion. We'll keep an eye on the lap times out of Cody Lawrence and Colin Edwards to see what they're able to do on a fresh set of rubber. 12 laps into this race, 11 laps completed. The drivers are on that 12th lap now. when Trent H nearly sends it into the wall. Revenue Prism Racing JWI number 84. Able to get the car collected out of turn 20. What slips back behind Cody Lawrence with 2.9 is the gap separating them. Cameron Ketchen going very slowly through turn 20. And that was Cody Fowers able to get past, it looks like. Not sure what happened there. Cody Fowers on that C3 compound and Cameron Ketchen on the C2 compound. Looking at the pit stops, Cameron Ketchen's already made one. Colin Edwards and Cody Lawrence all made one. No one else has made one other than James Shorter with 2. Progress made so far. Cody Lawrence is up 4 positions, soon to make that 6. Pete Rader's up to Matt Chevries right where he started in 2nd place. Side by side between Cameron Ketchen and Cody Fowers, it looks like. Looks like he was able to get by Cody Fowers with relative ease with the helping of the drag reduction system. And Pete Rader tumbles, falls, slip, drip, and he is around at what looks like turn 10 and loses a handful of positions. 5-second penalty for Cameron Ketchen for cutting the track, and Pete Rader not having a great time through turn 10 loses the position to Matt Chevries, who's now up a position overall. Pete Rader tumbled behind his teammates. Now Colin Edwards, with the helping of the DRS system open, should be able to get by Rader without any issues. And there it is, coming in towards turn 12. It looks like it's all pretty neat and tidy for the two of them. Rader trying to catch back up to his teammate, but the pit stop cycle is kicked off Chevries onto the C3 compound. Let's take a look at the pit stops yet again. James Shorter, another 5-second penalty for cutting the track. Chevries with a stop. Cody Lawrence back into the lead of the race in front of Trent H. And Trent is on that C2 compound tire. and resting in P2, but soon to change as Colin Edwards is right behind in P3. Keep an eye on this. Edwards driving the McLaren should get around Trent H here before we get down to turn 12. Huge help of the drag reduction system, as long as he doesn't go too far wide here. He's doing a good job of keeping it between the mayo and the mustard. Trent H, though, with a decent amount of positions gained right now, staying in front of Pete Rader and Matt Chevry, running this stint a little longer than the rest of the field. Perhaps going for that one-stop strategy that we talked about earlier, that few and far between have been on previously. Trying to do something a little bit differently than the rest of the drivers. Racing JWI in third place, the McLaren Shell Racing car in second place, and the Oracle Red Bull car in first place, the number 11. All is pretty quiet here in COTA now, around this 3.4 mile track. Drivers separated by quite a bit of spacing. You can see there on the mini-map the little bubbles separating the drivers. Closest battle on track is the one that just got inverted. Colin Edwards back into second place, Trent H in third. Pete Rader finally takes his pit stop, splitting this one pretty much down the middle. And it looks like one driver is at least going for the 50-50 split tonight. Last lap around, Cody Lawrence did a 136.4, Colin Edwards with a 138.0, Trent H 39.0. Matt Chevry actually running 36.7 on the C3 compound. So we might see Chevry catch to the rear end of Trent H within the next 9 laps or so. But he will have to take another pit stop that'll send him back down the order. 37.668 for Matt Chevry on the previous lap compared to a 39.9 from Trent H. Trent has got to make his pit stop sooner rather than later, as the gap is coming down quite extensively. 5-second penalty for Raider for improper use of the DRS. And we're through the halfway point of this race. When will Trent decide to come down pit lane? It should be on this lap, and he'll go back down onto the C2 compound. Cody Lawrence deciding to pit at the halfway point already. And Will Colin Edwards follow suit. They pit on the same strategy last time around. And no, it will not be a pit stop for the second place car. And it will not be a pit stop for the third place car either. Colin Edwards now leads the race as Cody Lawrence is coming out right there in the background. 2.4 is the gap. Colin Edwards lapping at around 138.5s. And now Cody Lawrence is on the C3 compounds yet again. Now Cody Lawrence trying to re-inherit the lead of the race behind Colin Edwards now on the fresh set of mediums on his outlap. And looks to the inside line, dodging, bobbing, and weaving his way forward. And there it is at Big Red, the move done and dusted. Trent H finally down pit road now. Raider and Chevry inheriting those positions. And he should get out in front of Cameron Ketchen. But Trent has got a lot of work to do to make up those positions to get back up into P3. But of course, another pit stop should be in store for Matt Chevry and Pete Raider. And Cody Lawrence is out here flying a 2/10 gap or a 2.5 second gap back to Colin Edwards at the beginning of the lap, turned into a 3 second gap the other way, a 134.863 or 873. And that'll be the fastest lap of the race. Fastest sector 1, 2, and 3 of anybody else on track on those fresh mediums on lap 21 of 37. And a handful of drivers on those C3 compounds, only a few of them on the C2 compounds, Colin Edwards being one of them. And again, trying to see when Colin Edwards will decide to come down pit road. He's lapping still in the 138.1 range. "11 laps since his last pit stop. Should be about now for Colin Edwards, because that first stint was only 11 laps that he was on. But he's still lapping fairly well, 137.8 on the previous. 137.3 for Matt Chevrolet behind. 136.9 for Pete Rader. And again, all quiet here at Austin, Texas. The drivers separated by 5 seconds plus up and down the field. Trent H being the closest battle that we're looking at now between himself and Pete Rader. 6.2 is the gap forward on lap 23 of 37. And this might be the one race where we actually catch all of the drivers on the lead lap with about a 90-second lap that we're running right now. Oh, strike my last. It looks like Cody Fowers just got lapped. And where's James Shorter? Coming through the Maggots and Beckett's like section right now. And Trent H is lapping around the same times as Pete Rader. 137.32A. We'll catch it when we get to the line. 137.3 to a 136.5. So strike my last. Lap times are going Trent's way on the C3 compound. But again, will he be able to make it to the end? I'm not so certain. With 12 laps remaining. first place car of Cody Lawrence is putting down 35.9s right now. Their best lap being 34.8. We saw that at the beginning of their stint. Gap now 12 and a half seconds back to Colin Edwards. Cody Lawrence sure showing us why he's in the lead of the championship right now. 135.3 on the last occasion that he crossed the line, the number 11 of Cody Lawrence. Pete Rader gets another 5-second penalty for cutting the track, and this might hand the position over to Trent now, as he's within that 5-second penalty range. 4.34 seconds as we come through turn 1. Twisted Jack stranded on the circuit somewhere, and that'll be coming through what looks like turn 14. Hands the position over to Cameron Ketchen. Might not be the Canadians' drive tonight. Batchery down pit lane on 27 of 37. That should be his final stop of the race. We've yet to see a few more drivers make their final stops just yet, such as Pete Rader, still out there on the C3 compounds. And Rader has been around for at least 9 laps. Cameron Ketchen 2 laps since his previous pit stop. Crash with the environment for Cody Fowers. Looks like he had a intimate relationship with the barriers there for just a moment. Trent's dropped the times that he needed to catch up to Rader out in front, but again, that 5-second penalty should hand him the podium all on his own. 1.9 is the gap. We were staring at nearly a 5-second gap just a few laps ago. Colin Edwards pits for the final time on lap 28 of 37. Out of pit road now. 29 of 37. Trent H still closing down the gap steadily. Colin Edwards 1 second away from Trent's rear end. There goes a pit stop from Raider. And can Trent make it to the end of the race now? He has technically a free pit stop in his pocket. And he'll still make a position around Pete Raider, but he won't be able to get past Matt Chevry. Edwards looking to the inside line at turn 11. Now going to the inside line again for turn 12, and the helping hand of the production system makes it so seamless. Colin Edwards flies right on by Trent. Matt Chevry 3.6 behind Trent now. Lap times definitely going Chevry's way. 137.4 compared to a 136.2 for Chevry. .5 is the gap between Chevry and Trent. We'll see that one come down over the next 7 laps. I don't think Trent is going to want to decide to take that pit stop. He spent 9 laps so far on those C3 compounds, and Matt Chevry's only spent 3 laps on those compounds, so that explains why the times are going his way. Only 6 more laps remaining here. And look at that gap between P1 and P2. It is nearly a 40-second gap separating the two of them. 36.1 to a 36.4. Trent H has lifted up and doing all the work that he needs to. Twisted Jack down pit road in the number 5. Raider gets another 5-second penalty for cutting the circuit. Ouch. I think that'll tack him up to 15 seconds. He might no longer be able to hold on to P5 of this race. He's got a 29-second gap back to Cameron Ketchen. If he's not too careful, those penalties will add up to be a full stop, basically. shorter, gets another 5-second penalty for cutting the track himself. Whoa, Matt Chevry has a big slide coming through turn 20. Barely able to keep the car underneath him, but does so dramatically. And that'll be a 4.9 second gap between himself and Trent H. And this might be an insurmountable gap to close down now, despite how fast Chevry has been running. Trent H could potentially walk home with 3rd place. Colin Edwards in 2nd place, 38 seconds behind Cody Lawrence, out in front, just crossed the line. And he is actually down pit lane now. Cameron Ketchen in 6th place, 30 seconds behind Pete Rader, the McLaren, number 81. Cody Lawrence going on to the seat for the softest compound tires and potentially going for the fastest lap of the race. With just 4 laps remaining. Cody Fowers with a 5-second penalty for cutting the track. Now we're looking at Twisted Jack. 1 minute away from Cameron Ketchen. Cody Fowers with that 5-second penalty, the number 44 Mercedes. In 8th place. Cameron Ketchen in 6th place, the number 81 McLaren again. The real battle here has been between Trent H and Matt Chevry. It's back down to 2.8 seconds, around 3 seconds separating the two drivers. See how close Matt Chevry is to Trent H. The gap still coming down around 9/10 that previous lap. 2 more laps remaining as the drivers are on 35 of 37. What could have been, what should have was for Matt Chevry. He didn't have that slip and slide coming out of turn 20. The move might already have been done by now. Cody Lawrence puts down the fastest lap of the race at 134.008. A second chomped out of a lap time between Trent H. and Matt Chevry. We all know catching is one thing, passing is a complete other ball game. You'll have to get the hurry up and go really done now to get the move done and dusted on the final one. Chevry is putting in the hard work. 6/10 now as we approach turn 11. Will he have enough of that DRS? Oh, and another big wiggle coming out of 11 on the application of the throttle, getting a big snap of oversteer, able to get the car corrected, right that ship, and driving forward. So no, it will not be done going in towards turn 12 this time around. White flag has been waved for the drivers. They are going to conclude on the next one. Matt's really trying to put down the metal now. Inside line going up into Big Red, and he will have the position, but will it be enough there for Trent H to succeed? It is enough to get done. Matt Chevry works his way up into third on the final lap of the race going in towards turn 1. Now all he has to do is drive home cleanly, and this will be his race on the podium. Cody Lawrence, though, coming around turn 20 for the final time. And he's brought this one home. He has won the race from last to first. Colin Edwards, 27 seconds later, will bring it home in P2. A hard-fought battle for the lead of the race for the first few, but couldn't quite stave off Cody Lawrence as much as he wanted to. Colin Edwards finishes in second place. Matt Chevry will bring it home in third, right in front of Trent H. In fourth place, Pete Rader in fifth. Cameron Ketchen in 6th, Twisted Jack in 7th, Cody Fowers in 8th, James Shorter crossing the line in 9th place. Now, the championship order should still relatively stay the same. Sean Moriarty obviously tumbling down a few positions, but Matt Chevry should get in front of Pete Rader now, or at least tie them back up again, if I'm not mistaken. Colin Edwards should solidify himself into P2 for the championship, as long as Sean Moriarty doesn't show up again. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you very much for hanging around the Slipstream Racing Studio. I've been your host, Sagar Bakshi, a.k.a. The Real High. It's been my pleasure to take you from green to checkered flag. Join us next week for the finale at Suzuka. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful night, and as always, stay safe out there. Bye-bye.